Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to episode 21 of Build the Terminator.
The Terminator. Week by week, build the T-800, the killing machine that defined a generation. Easy to build with high-quality metal components. You can control sound, lights, articulated limbs, and LED eyes. And explore the Terminator universe. Build the Terminator. Issue 1, just $1.99.
So welcome back to my channel, and well, it's been a few weeks since I last saw you guys. I hope you missed me. As I promised, I'd be back, and terrible impression, I do apologise. Obviously I'm back to it now. I have really missed it, and you know, I've been anxiously trying to crack on since I got back from holiday 2 weeks ago. But I've had so many other things to do, like different projects, various videos you may have seen on the channel, not related to the Terminator, more obviously sports specific with my commentary and also my training and coaching of other people. But I'm back to it. We're back on 21 today. So essentially we're going to be assembling the right shoulder joint. So it's just a very small part, very quick and easy, but more importantly, we're actually finally going to be connecting up the skull. So this part is going to be going onto the main head, and we're going to be fusing that together. So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, just a nice quick issue, shouldn't take too long, then we can crack on with the others. I have up to issue 30, however, I'm missing issue 27 because Hachette have had some issues with their supplier. So I can only do up to from 21 today until 27, and sorry, 26. I'm going to wait for issue 27 before I continue the others. So you will see 6 new videos at the moment, and obviously more to come. But anyway, let's get started. So as always, before we get started, I'm just going to run through the parts that we have here. So starting from the top, obviously you've got the cranium or the skull. That's obviously going to be fitted today onto the head, as you can see. So we're finally going to connect those two. But the parts we'll be assembling to do so will be starting from the shoulder joint here. So this is the right shoulder, and you'll know that because it says R within the recess of that part. This is metal. Just wanted to add, it's quite heavy, so obviously I expect it to be metal because as a joint it needs to be very strong and durable, just like it would in the normal human body. So yeah, so that's metal. That's part 21.1, and then moving to the right of it, then you've got 21.5. Now these parts are for the lower jaw. They're actually the covers. So they are little covers that are going to go on the side of the jaw of the head here, but you'll see that when we come to it. Then moving down, so these two plastic parts here, these are the right shoulder joint fittings. They're going to be going onto here, and they are plastic. And then moving on, you've got some little screws here, which I believe are the PM 2x4mm screws. We've got 3 of those. Just need two of those. And then moving down, you have the larger metal pieces, the 2 of them. They are the metal shafts. They're the large ones, and they're the metal shafts which are smaller. Again, these will be used for connecting the jaw and the skull up. Moving over, apparently I might need some tweezers. So I mean, they do look quite fiddly, these pieces, but we'll see. As usual, some screwdrivers, some cross-point screwdrivers, super glue, and a cocktail stick. And that's all you need to get started. So steps 1 to 3. This is the quickest part of this this issue. So taking the plastic parts which go onto the shoulder joint, you will see, if I just go a bit close to the camera, there are the little pins there, or the studs, should we say. What you want to do, you just want to super glue around those parts, and you're then going to connect it up to the shoulder joint, so you'll see the holes there where the studs will fit in. So very simple. So I'm just going to do that quickly, and then we can get moving on to the skull. Obviously don't go OTT with the glue, you only need a little bit. I've got some pretty strong glue here as well, Loctite. So once it's in, it's in. So you don't really want to get that wrong. Okay, so that's the first one in. Just going to put a bit of pressure on that for a second or two. Okay, that's fine. And then just repeat the process on the other side. As I said, nice and quick. Nothing too technical. Issues 24 to 26 look like they're going to be a bit of a pain and very fiddly, so I'm not looking forward to those. But not every issue is going to be quick and easy as this one. So just pop that in. Okay, that's that. Just give that some more pressure again. And those parts 1 to 3 complete with the shoulder joint. That will be left now for a couple of issues, so we can move on now to the final stages, which will be assembling the head. Okay, so moving on to steps 5 to 7. So as you can see, I've got the almost completed head here. What we're going to be using, we're using the tweezers and super glue, and also the little jaw connectors I showed you before. So just these two parts here. It's a bit close to the camera. These are just going to be super glued onto the sides of the jaw. So you'll see here, this section here. Make sure that you check the screws are nice and tight before you do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Also, just to mention on the little connectors, only put the super glue on the actual pins. Do not put it around the rest of the recess. So I'm just going to do that now. So just be a bit careful of this part. I think I'll put it down first actually, rather than hold it. It's a bit fiddly. Okay, and once you're happy with that, grab your tweezers and then place over the jaw. Just hold that into place for a moment or two until it secures itself. Okay, so that's the first one in, as you can see. Just going to repeat on the other side now. Now this is, from what I can gather, just purely an aesthetic thing, nothing more than that. I don't think it serves any other purpose but to keep the screw out of view. So it's just a cap, nothing more. But nonetheless, it still completes the overall look. So let's just pop that on. I didn't need the tweezers on the other one, so I'm just going to use my hands this time. Just going to push that in, and there you have it. Steps 5 to 7 complete. Both sides have their caps on, and they're good to go. Looking good. Now we can move on to the final stage. Okay, so for the final stages, steps 8 to 12. As I mentioned before about the little metal shafts. So what you're going to do with those, you'll see on the skull at the back there are 2 large holes at the top, either side, and there's also two lower ones at the bottom. So the big ones go at the top and the little ones at the bottom. Self-explanatory. All you have to do is super glue those into place. So I'm just going to do that now. Doesn't really matter which way it goes round because it's all the same. But make sure you don't rush this part because we want a strong skull and head. We don't want a flimsy one. So that's the first part done. Push that into place. Hold that for a second. Okay, and then repeat with the other one. Just hold that one into place like the other. That's the first 2 done. And now we just repeat the process with the smaller shafts. So just apply a little bit of glue to each one. And remember, the smaller shafts go at the bottom of the skull. Okay, that's one. Okay, so for the final parts, steps 11 to 12. Very, very simple. What you're going to do, you're going to take the cranium or the skull, and you're going to flip round the back of the nearly completed head, and you'll see here, just this section here, you can see there's two little screw hole points. So that's where we're going to be essentially securing in with the PM screws. So make sure first of all that all these wires are exposed and they're not covered and inside, because they need to be out for the moment as advised on the issue. So I'm going to put the skull over, preferably the right way around. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed there, but I actually had the eye mask over it, so it was preventing me from actually putting the skull on properly. So I had to fiddle around with that for ages, trying to work out why, because I was ahead of myself. So got there in the end. So now I'm just going to put the screws in and secure those together. Okay, so that's the first one in. Just screw that up. Good, and then let's repeat the process with the other one. Okay, that's the other one. Let's just secure that. And just a reminder, those were the PM 2x4mm screws that you need for that part. And there we go. So we now have a skull on the jaw. And this was the part that I mentioned that I already had on, the eye cover. It was preventing me from actually putting the skull on. So just bear that in mind if you're behind and you're trying to do that. You cannot have that on at all if you're trying to put the skull on top. So obviously on the next issue we'll be able to secure this fully. So that is that issue complete. So that's issue 21 complete, and it wasn't too hard, to be honest, was it? So just a quick recap. We obviously we connected the skull up to the jaw, as you can see, so that's almost complete now. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the eye sockets will be connected in the next issue, so that's going to be in issue 22. That will obviously seal in the eyes there, as you can see, so that's looking pretty cool. I don't know when we're going to get the part to fuse the back. That hasn't come up in any future issues as yet, so I reckon they're going to leave that till quite late, but we'll see. So obviously those were those two parts, the main parts we did, and also we did the first part of the right shoulder joint. So there's a little bit more of the shoulder next week, not too much next issue, but the main focus, like I said, is going to be on finishing the front of the head. So looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. So I hope you really liked today's episode. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. Also leave some comments in the section below. If you haven't, please subscribe and also share it. You know, like I said before, there may be some people who are interested in this. You can still subscribe, but I think it's from much later issues now, because they have sold out of quite a lot of the older ones, and those free gifts are no longer available, unfortunately. So, but you can still get onto this, and if you don't want to buy and do it, you can still watch my videos and enjoy them. So yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you soon for episode 22.